come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes fans. How the devil are you today? How's your weekend been so far? How's the Brentford game yesterday? Was it good? Was it bad? How did we play? At the moment of going live, I'm going to be up in the air because I'm at Mallorca Airport ready to fly over for the West Ham and Brighton games. So Reedy's doing it for me. But you know what time it is? It's still 10 o'clock. It's still Sunday. It's still the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kick-off time. Come on, you Foxes. Reedy, play the music.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Hello everyone. Yes, it's not Jamie. It is another Jamie. As you saw in the video, he is not here. He is travelling over from Spain to come to the game on Tuesday night. So he's probably on a plane right now. So get your views and get your comments in. It's going to be a bit of a messy show from after yesterday's game. It wasn't pretty, was it? So get your views and get your comments in. And we'll just talk about it because it was a very, very awkward game to watch yesterday in the stands. So morning, Maz. Morning, how you doing? Jeffrey says, morning, Jamie. Safe travel. Yeah, I'm not traveling, but he will be. Andy Downing says, morning, Jamie. I'm hoping these are all to me, Jamie, not Jamie at the Foxes Arms. Would stay where you are. Yeah, you probably should stay where you are, Jamie. You don't want to come back to this rubbish, do you? Cooper out. I did hear a lot of that yesterday, just because of how we were playing, but obviously Cooper's not in charge. What a load of rubbish. Yeah. Aggie here also says, God help Ruud trying to sort of show shit out players just wasn't good enough. Do you know what? I can see partly that now, but then I'd see partly the fact of Brentford have been playing for like 4 or 5 years this way. They're so well set up. They know what to do. Every ball is kind of like on the point perfectly. You just can't be a team who's been set up and been organised that well when you've got no manager, you've got 2 people taking charge who haven't got a clue about managing, and also players just confidence just looks shot. So hopefully it can be sorted a bit against West Ham on Tuesday. But again, it's not going to be perfect because Ruud, if people are in training today after the game yesterday, then they've only got 2 days to get ready for West Ham. So it's not going to be easy. Morning, Paul. How are you doing? Morning, Jane. Rooking out. I did hear a lot of that yesterday. That was a big chant from yesterday. Scott says, at least we got some shots on target yesterday. Yeah, brilliant. Can't wait for that. Hopefully we can get some more. First job, get rid of FaZe. I don't think FaZe was much at fault yesterday, if I'm totally honest. I think it was mainly, I know we kind of always say it's down that right-hand side, and I've been on the advocate of saying that JJ has been exposed a lot of the time. But against Brentford yesterday, a lot of the chances was really, really his issue, in my opinion. So we can talk about that if you want to. Get your more views and comments in. We will be getting Tom in a minute. Jeffrey here says, morning, Rudy. Real shocking performance. Not the way to impress the new manager. How Ruud sorts this out, I don't know. These players need to take a look at themselves. Totally unprofessional, bunch, overpaid. Has been this team and mentality issue for so long. I get the point of that, but I'm not looking at that game yesterday thinking we're not good enough to stay up. Like the big reason why we lost that is because Brentford are a very good team at home. They've scored 3 goals plus in the last 5 games, now 6 games. There was no, like, I'm not saying I went into that game thinking we were going to lose easily, but that's the reason why they're so good at the moment. They're scoring 3+ goals in every game at home. That's like, it's not like we can't do anything about that. Like, they're just very good at home. I didn't see this, Alf, but I want to look at it because I don't know if you're talking about the game, because he obviously wasn't playing, was he? So I'm not too sure. Maybe Tom can tell us a bit more about that before we bring him on. Derek Hill also says Cody avoided the ball, avoided marking them. What's that all about? I don't think Cody's good enough, mate. That's the one player I don't think should be in the team. I know people want a leader. I get it. But I don't think he's good enough. And I think that's maybe so for a few of our defenders. I don't know. But on that note, we'll get one last comment and then we'll bring Tom in. So Tom says, so we have to just go. How do you mean? I'm not too sure. And Liam agrees with me. We'll bring in Tom now. Tom, how you doing, mate?
I'm going to recline my chair because I feel like this is how the players were playing yesterday. They were just like rock back and just looking around and, oh, goal's gone in. Yeah. It was, wow, if you thought it was bad watching it in the stands, it was bad watching. Having to watch the replays and do a watch along yesterday, Ruud, let's put it that way. Yeah. Where do you start? I mean, I think the team selection was all wrong. I mean, okay, Ben Dawson is in for one game, but for me, you know, who should have been in that starting lineup after his performance against Chelsea. Jordan Ayew shouldn't have been anywhere near a starting 11, let alone, you know, he's an impact sub.
People will disagree with you though because he's got how many goals he scored, but he does. I think the same.
He doesn't offer enough going forward. He holds the ball up well and he wins free kicks. Great. But the problem is when you're trying to play a back 5 and 2 holding midfielders, you've got to be able to move the ball quickly through the line to attack Brentford. Every time we got the ball forward, it got hit to Ayew and got stuck. And then before you know it, Brentford were back behind the ball, set up, and we give the ball away. Defensively, it was a shambles, start to finish. You look at JJ will get blamed again for down his side, but Wout Faz is next to him for one of the goals. I mean, the ball between the two of them is embarrassing. The other goal,
the third one was awful. Yeah,
you know, the goal for, you know, I think it's second goal. Wout Faz placed everybody on side because he's 5 yards deeper than anyone else on the pitch. If you look at the rest of the back line, it's a good line. But Wout Faz, for some reason, is 5 yards deeper than anyone else. He plays him on side. And then the third goal, I mean, again, ball in between Wout Faz and JJ, and no one's trapped the runner in and scored for the fourth goal. Half time, mate, you're sitting there and just thinking, just go in at 2-1. The game's still there. It was 2-1. Someone has to be a leader on that pitch. I've been telling the lads to switch on for the next 5-6 minutes. As soon as that ball goes up for 7 minutes, right, boys, we're not conceding. Get your heads down. We worked hard. Let's go in at 2-1. We're still in the game. We can sort it out. 3-1, the heads had gone. As soon as it went in, you could see that was it. The game was over. There was no way that we were coming back in that game because their heads had completely gone. And it didn't look like they were bothered after they came back out, if I'm honest, yeah.
I think if there was any positive from yesterday, it was the fact that before we scored, I think we looked okay. And I think we did look decent until when we scored. And then it just all crumbled down because you can't concede 2 goals that quickly after scoring. It's just not good enough. If I was to ask you, what do you reckon the biggest issue was yesterday? People are saying quality of the players isn't good enough, and that's why we're not winning games. But I think there's many factors to yesterday's game. Again, first of all, we didn't have a manager in charge. Second of all, we just looked like we wanted to just try and do anything we could to not concede goals, as in put a 5 at the back, then a 3. Then a 2. It just looked like we just didn't want to concede, and then yet we did. What did you think to being the reason we lost that game yesterday? Because I know it was bad, but what do you reckon it was down to?
Well, change of formation's the first one. We played a 4 at the back most of this season. I know Southampton away, we got something from the game by changing to a 5 in the second half, but we were 2-0 down at the point and we had to go for it. Yesterday we went into the game, it was negative football before you started. Thought the first 5-10 minutes we'd actually look quite settled, and we got the goal and it looked quite good, but then we crumbled again, and that's our biggest problem. The goal goes in and we just crumble so quickly. personnel on the pitch. I mean, people keep banging on about there's not quality in the squad. There is enough quality in the squad.
Oh,
There's
right.
still
I
enough.
think there is.
I think there's enough quality. I think we've still got a better team than some of the teams below us. I think Wolves have probably got a better team than us, but they're conceding goals for fun at the moment. So they've got bigger issues than we have, and they've got better players by far than what we've got in our team. I think if you look at it as a thing, the way we set up with Ndidi and Sumari, neither one of them sat when we went forward. They both bombed on, and before you knew it, most of the goals came through the middle of the park and no one being able to sit in front of our defence, leaving the defence exposed. Organisation and ability. If I'm honest with you, mate, the biggest thing that disappoints me out the whole day yesterday is that Van Nistelrooy was sitting in that stand watching that, and not one player, bar probably Buonanotte, and possibly, I think Luke Thomas, I didn't think he had a good game, but from other people think Thomas had a good game, showed any heart, show any hunger or desire to actually want to be there, actually want to play for the football club and play for that badge. I can take losing. I don't mind we lose 4-1 every week. As long as you show some kind of passion and desire to try and do something, I'm sorry, at Premier League level, as a professional footballer, the minimum you should be setting yourselves as any target going onto the football pitch is trying and putting effort. That's all we're asking for. There was no effort out there yesterday. As soon as the goals went in, those 2 quick-fire goals, that was it. The game was done because they didn't know what to do. Look, Cooper's gone. This game's gone. It is now about West Ham, in it, really. And
it's the biggest one, in it, really, out of all of them you're coming up, other than Wolves.
Yeah, that and Wall games are 2 huge games now. And, in Brighton at home, you've got to think, well, Southampton showed you how you can get at Brighton. So you've got to take their game plan and use it somehow to get at Brighton. I just hope Van Nistelrooy saw enough in that team that he ain't going to sit there thinking, what have I done already? I really hope not, because you could take the job and sit there thinking, actually, what have I actually taken on? But we got now, 7-8 games between now and Christmas and a January transfer window. And we've got to get rid of some of the old guard out now for me. You've got to get the players who aren't being involved have got to be moved on. Your Danny Wards, your Yannick Vestergaard, if you're not going to play him. Wout Fazes. These players have had enough opportunities in the Premier League and sadly just aren't good enough for me. Wout Faz is not good enough to be in the Premier League. I don't care what anyone says. He's an aggressive defender who makes mistake after mistake after mistake. We saw it the last time round in the Premier League. He got caught out in his first full season. Yeah, Mads did all right. Sorry. He made another 2-3 great saves again. He's been man of the season. Let's not go wrong. Your likes of Sumari and Didi, these players who just do not seem to give you 2 shits anymore, are players you need to move out the football club and free up these wages and actually bring players in who are going to do something and put up a fight. That's our biggest thing now. Players are going to roll those sleeves up and get stuck in, because we're in a fight. We're in a relegation battle like we were going to be this season. But we can pull ourselves away. There is quality. Bonotti, Vardy, El Canous looks a quality little player. Mavididi yesterday showed sparks again what he can do. You've got enough attacking threat in there. You just need a little bit more. And for me, that's 2 things massively. One, the whole thing people talk about goalkeeper, that we don't need a goalkeeper. I don't know where this has come from. We need another goal. We don't need another goalkeeper. We've got 4 goalkeepers. I'm hoping Jakub Saladchik will be back soon to be this number 2 again, because he deserved to be the number 2 after last season. We need another. For me personally, we need a couple of good centre halves brought into this football club. We need a right back bringing into this football club, and we need a striker, a target man, something different to Vardy, Daka, because at the moment, and send the likes of Edwards back to Palace, because he's just been a waste of time. What a waste of money this is paying him out.
You've got someone like Tom Cannon you could bring back, mate.
You've got Tom Cannon, but again, he's the same kind of striker to Vardy. He wants the ball in behind. I personally believe you needed something different. You need a plan B. And I think Ruud will look at that and think we've got to have different options. You're losing 2-1. You need to be able to put the ball into Mitch to someone quite big and hold it up. And
Ujoa.
Yeah, an Ujoa type player. Someone who's going to hold that ball up and mix it up a little bit, not just be trying to play the ball in behind every time, because we've seen against other teams. Yep, Chris Wood type player. Exactly. Something different. But we've got to get the deadwood out the club first, and that's got to happen quickly. Sadly, I'll say now, Rudkin has been here too long. There's deadwood in the boardroom. that's got to be sorted as well. And his Top's taking this club forward now, and he's saying he's going to have more involvement in the club. Then sort your management team out, because at the moment you saw what the fans feel towards Rookin. This isn't the first time those chants have been heard in the last 5 to 6 years. There's been numerous occasions. You want to get the fans back on side Top, get rid of that man quickly, because if you're not, the fans will still keep chanting it, and it's going to get worse for you.
Yeah, like I say, I wasn't chanting it, but there was a lot of people in the crowd yesterday chanting it. You're mentioning Luke Thomas, Buonanotte, Mads. I would put in there as well, and it might be an opinion that people won't like, but I think Sumari again played decent. I don't think he really put a foot wrong, but the one player that I don't see how he's getting into the team at the moment, again, is Ndidi. I think he was woeful again. Every time he passes the ball, he's just awful. Every time he tries to challenge a ball, he either gets it and then loses it, or just doesn't get it at all. So I get the point of his stats show, and he's brilliant at tackling, but he's not at that level anymore. I can't see why. Yeah, I'd rather see Winks and Skip, or Sumari and Winks, something like that. But I don't know how Ndidi even sees the light of day on the pitch anymore.
But again, yesterday you played 2 defensive midfielders, and not the one of them were doing the defensive work. Now that's been in theory for me. That's where Ndidi has to be the leader in the middle of the park. He's played enough times in the Premier League and big games to know what he should be doing, and that's where for me he should be the one telling Sumari, right, I'm going to sit. You can bomb forward. Personally, I think it should have been that way around. Ndidi should have been the one sitting and let Sumari break. He's got more pace than Wolf has, and he's bigger, more busted kind of player to get past people. But neither of them were talking. And like you said, there's too many goals came through the middle of the park because both of them pushed on. Wolf were playing defensive midfielder.
I think even in that defensive midfield role, I don't think he's to the level anymore.
He's
I know
not the player he
Councillor
was,
has.
mate.
I know Councillor has he has a bit of a love for him, and he always says about when fans got on his back, it's like he's not as bad as you think he is. When you watch him week in, week out, and I know probably you do as well, he just isn't that level anymore. His passing's just awful. Half the passes he made went off the pitch.
Think about it,
isn't great.
I mean, the one in the first half where it was a simple ball curl out wide to Justin, and he pinged it straight out for a throw. I'm sorry, that's professional football. I mean, look, Wolf Ndidi back 2, 3, 4 years ago was an absolute class player, and we're talking about going to Real Madrid and everything like that. But
I wouldn't put him into the centre back. I would not put him into.
But for me now, he's gone off the ball. These injuries have taken the toll on him, and now I don't know if that means he's not as mobile getting around the park, but he doesn't seem the player that he was. And if he does win the ball back, he then passes it straight back to the opposition, or he doesn't seem to be the same player for me for some reason. I don't know. I like Wolf. I'm not going to sit and slag Wolf because he's done a lot for us, but he's definitely not at the level he was, playing at. And I don't know if he'll ever will get back to that level again because his confidence seems shot. I think that's the biggest thing we've got to remember. We've just got rid of managers, and confidence throughout the squad is pretty low at the moment. But like I say yesterday, you still expect them try some level of performance and to try. You've got the manager out. You didn't want him here. Your players didn't. That's been made quite clear.
I thought we'd be right up for it. I thought we'd be. I know we haven't got the manager in yet, but as in he's not in management yet, but. I thought, all right, we've got clear the old manager. Well, let's go for it. Let's try our best. And it just looked like we were just a mess. And the council does here say Wolf has been most attacking threat as well as continuing sections. Doesn't that show you how bad we've been? If Wolf is our most attacking threat, we've got Buonanotte, we've got El Canus, and they're not our most attacking threats, are they? For me, that just shows you everything you need to say. Sumari hasn't earned my trust just yet. I think every game that he's playing, I think he's not putting a bad performance in my eyes. Go on then, Tom. With the goals we conceded yesterday, and it was obviously we did go 1-0 up. What would you say if there was any positive other than the first 10 minutes? What would you say going into this Tuesday game? Because it's not obviously not going to be perfect against West Ham. It's not going to be. It's going to have 2 days with the new manager to get something at least sorted. What do you reckon going into Tuesday night, then, mate?
It's so tricky, isn't it? I think you're positive. You got a different manager in charge. That's your positive. That you Leicester fans have got the bloke they really wanted at the end of the day. There was I personally would have gone for Moyes. That was my opinion. And a lot of people would have wanted Potter. there's a lot of people who definitely wanted Van Nistelrooy. So a lot of people have got what they wanted. I think what we've got to do now is write off this first 12, 13 games of the season now. We've got to let it go. You've got to get rid of this toxic atmosphere between the fans and the players and all that. And I know a lot of people spend a lot of money. I didn't go down yesterday, but I go a lot of games, and we all spend a lot of money following our club up and down the country. But there has to be a common point like now in the season to save the season. This is the thing for me. It's about saving our season and make sure we're in the Premier League next year. That's the target. 17th is the target. You've got to let this season go now where we're up to. You've got to forget about what's happened. You've got to forget about the mistakes.
This is the start of our season.
Yeah, you got to forget about Faz's mistakes, because as much people say you can drop him, for who? You haven't got no players. You haven't got a Ben Nelson who's now injured. He was flying at Oxford. You might have thought, well, let's bring him back and put him in the team. But again, he's injured. You haven't got a Ricky P to cover the right back position. He's injured. We've got a lot of injuries now building up in those defensive areas. One, I don't know how long Ockley's going to be out for. After being injured yesterday, how long will that last for? I mean, it's always bring back Suter. I mean, he's playing all right at Sheffield United, but Championship's a difficult fist to the Prem. I just think Tuesday night is a fresh start. The season starts in from then. Well, we've got 26 games left, 25 games left of the season. And for me now, the fans have all got a united one with Ruud and the players on the pitch. And if a mistake happens, you can't groan. We've all got to get behind them, because we can't sit here in 12 games' time and think, right, we're going to sack Van Nistelrooy. This is a long-term project now. And if we don't stay up, we don't stay up. But let's all come together as one and really, really back Ruud and the team. Because it ain't going to be easy. We're going to have some bad results along the way. I can see that still coming now with the players we've got, especially up to January, and especially till we try to get some reinforcements in. And I hope that Ruud, with his connections with, Man United, Real Madrid, the Dutch national team, I'm hopefully got some gems tucked away that he thinks that could do a job for me in here. And they can do it. I mean, someone putting that Hamza always puts a shift in. Completely agree with that.
I'd take him there, yeah.
I think Tuesday for me. I think David Nugent said it. I listened back to Nugent yesterday after the game, and Nugent hit down on the head. Bring out the likes of Ndidi, Sumari, and put in some English players who know this division and know what you got to do to fight. Bring in Skip. Bring in Hamza Chowdhury, those kind of players in the middle of the park that are going to battle for you, because they know what it means to be in here. And we are in for a battle now. And that's all I can say to the fans. Get behind the team on Tuesday night. If we go a goal down, we've got to still keep going, because if we just carry on the way the fans are this season, including me, being very dull and depressed and fed up with it all, then we might as well just get relegated now. For me, it's all got to be united as one on Tuesday. And that has to be the positive, that we've got the manager that we wanted in the hot seat on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I completely agree. You need to forget what's happened in the past. Again, you always will have them like little niggles in your head about, say, FaZe having stinkers. Again, a lot of players, JJ having stinkers, but the manager needs to come in now, get the 2 days of training very, very much solid, as much as you can, and get a start on what you want to going forward. But before we do finish, and I'm guessing Phil will be talking about this going into Tuesday night's game, but is there any players that you would definitely start against West Ham? Because I think you will say one name, and that's El Khanous. Other than that, again, for me, I get people's opinions on Mabadidi, but when you've got no Fatawu, you've got no more other creative threats in the attack. Yes, you've got Vardy, but he's 38. For me, Mabadidi is must start. I know he doesn't play consistently well, but he's your only very much creative asset in that attacking place now, other than Buonanotte. What's your take on that? Do you say El Khanous starts? Do you say Mabadidi starts? What do you think? I
want to see a front four of Vardy, Buonanotte, El Khanous, and Mabadidi. That would be my front four.
As in the three, and then one in front.
Yeah, that would be my lot. It doesn't help putting Buonanotte onto the right or El Khanous onto the right. It's not their natural positions. But we've got to try something different, because at the moment, Jordan Ayew just holds the game up and stops our flow of play. Bringing him on for the last 10, 15 minutes, completely agree when you're winning a game, or you need to try and change it up a little bit and bring a different type player on. But Mabadidi needs to be tacking down the left, El Khanous or Buonanotte on the right, and then centre again, El Khanous. I'd probably put Buonanotte onto the right and El Khanous in the middle of the park, as playing as a 10 behind Vardy. He's got a little bit of experience in front of him. Then for me, like you say, I would go for Hamza Chowdhury and Winks in the middle of the park there. I think you just got to go back to some basic players who know this division. There's nothing against Sumari having he's had a good couple of games, but I think just go back to some robust tackling midfielders who ain't scared to get involved. Your back four is hard to pick. For me, the back four is the hardest thing because we've got so many mistakes in there. Justin isn't not going to play as much as fans say drop him for who. If you put in the chat, who would you put in right back then? Because we haven't got anyone.
I think I'd rather put Chowdhury in right back and play someone like Samari in midfield. Just because it helps us out. I get the point of JJ not having an actual replacement, but every game at the moment it seems to be a bit dodgy.
See, going back to a two at the back, then for me, I'd say as much as people say pace wise it's gone, but I'd play Cody and if he's fit, a Coley as your centre back partnership. You take Wout Faz out the equation. Every time I've seen Cody and Ockley play together in the middle of the back two in games, Okoli looks a lot better player because he's got someone in there talking to him and leading him and marshalling what he needs to do. Left back, again, toss between two players, really, isn't it? For me, I think you play Christensen, if I'm honest with you. Didn't Bobby Reid play right? Let's not even go into that pile of shite, if I'm honest with you. More waste of money than I've seen. Again, another one who's come for a payday check before he retires, like a Ryan Bennett, and Ryan Bertram's and stuff like that. Players like that who come for a payday, and we gullibly go, oh, okay, yeah, I'll sign you up. A Premiership club doesn't want a player. That isn't because they're good players, are they? They're left because they're old and they're on their way down in the decline. I'd probably pick Christensen as left back. I think I like Christensen. I think if you set up as a solid back four and he's not exposed and he's all right, and Mavididi in front of him does help him out a lot more than you think. Like you say, that right hand side is always our weak point because whoever you play there, you always got a youngster in front, Canus or Buonanotte. Yeah. So you never.
That is the biggest issue.
That's our biggest issue. No cover
that's
for the right
back.
That's
where Fatawu was a big key player in there because he knows how to get back and defend. So, but I will admit, if we didn't get exposed from that right hand side, that front four that you spoke about, and I would do that as well. I would honestly say that that's probably the most creative team we could have probably put out there. Again, I'm not. People are going to say that's maybe too attacking or whatnot, but the technical ability of all three of them attacking midfielders / wingers would, for me, create so much more.
I think
having AU there or
that's my point of view. I like John. He's a workhorse and he'll do a job for the team. But if you're winning a game 2-1, then yes, bring him on to hold that defensive line and do workness. But in games you need to go and try and attack. He just completely slows down. Someone's just putting there actually like what has gone. What's your understanding of Andrew Neville? Again, another one who's been on the board too long. Another one who's taken a lot of wages from this football club and seems to just be the quiet man who doesn't get picked out. If you're going to pick on Rudkin or Wheeland, he's another one who needs to be looked at. See, for me, Top needs to have a look through the whole of that area and go, right, are people doing what I'm paying them to do? Simple as that. If things aren't working out in any company and things are on a decline, the first thing the managing director does would bring an independent person in to look at you, who is running what department and if they're doing their job properly. Obviously, things aren't going well at the moment, so you can sit there and say we've got promotion, but we've had we had a relegation and promotion, and we could get another relegation. That for me would be catastrophic for us at the moment. So there's a lot of things that still need to change in the football club, and I hope that now Top's around or he will change it. But like I say, team wise, that is our strongest lineup, mate, for me, for attacking wise. And against the West Ham team that conceded 5 goals yesterday, let's not get it wrong, they're not defending that great either. So we should be looking at this game and having a go at them. We've got to have a go at them. Best form of defence at the moment is it for us to attack.
Yeah. No, I agree. Again, when we were 2 or 3-1 down against them yesterday, the moment we started to be a bit more pressure on them, they looked like they were going to crumble. But I will say, and do you agree with now Ruud is coming into charge? Do you see the team really having a bit of a change? Like, are you going to see Ndidi in that 10 role anymore? Are you going to see AU playing on that wing? Is he going to want to play with this more creative-minded midfielder role into the team? I don't know. I think that's just because of what we've seen the whole season, playing players out of position and not being good enough in them roles. Do you see now being a complete switch of Ruud in charge to this is how I want to play?
So I can just answer one question because Michael put, Tom, why did you read Scott's out? Not Mike. I just saw that flat. That was the first one I saw that had mentioned Andrew Neville. And I just picked it. It wasn't a case of that because I'm not looking at the comments like Reed is for putting them on screen. So apologise, but yeah, there's no what's called. I just saw that one first from Matt saying Andrew Neville. Look, Ruud's got to bring his own men in as well into his backroom staff. I think you need to clear out all the Cooper brigade from away from this team now. I think you've got to have a fresh start. And I think Ruud will. I think you listened to the interview the other day on Sky Sports when they were in Holland and he was walking in his garden and talking. A lot of people were saying, oh, he's not got any backroom team. There's definitely some people to come in still. The way Ruud was talking, he was saying about my team, my abilities. That tells me there's other people to come in. What could be crucial and might bring a better standard coaches in and stuff like that, because that's what we need now. We need to bring up our game everywhere across the park, from defensive tactics to attacking tactics. And like you said, Ruud van Nistelrooy doesn't want to sit on the back foot all game. He ain't going to sit there in the games against Chelsea and think, well, we're going to defend for our lives. That game against Chelsea last week, let's get it right. Yes, we were defensive, but we were way, way too defensive to stick everyone behind the ball and get them to just shadow Chelsea back and forth. And
then boot the ball up when you didn't want to.
And boot it forward and then do it all again. Yes, Ruud van Nistelrooy, you set up your bit defensive, but he ain't going to do the team doing that. He's going to want teams to get in their faces and close them down and hurry them. Like we showed against Chelsea when we did it, make them, made mistakes. So look, there's going to be a lot of changes, I think, when you'll see. I think people are expecting some change. I think you'll see a lot of change from Van Nistelrooy.
I hope so.
Can I just put this one comment on, mate?
Go on, mate, before we finish.
Come on, Arbor Town. That's what it's all about now. Forget Leicester. That's done. That's dusted.
Stung by the bees, mate. We weren't stung by them bees.
Good luck to them today in the Cup. I think it's 3,000 fans travelling. Probably a lot of Leicester fans in there as well as Harbour Town fans. But good luck to Harbour Town today. I really mean that. I'm travelling up in a bit. I just hope we can get a good result there and the lads put a performance in. So, yeah, reading me, Phil doesn't show up.
Hey, I just picked some of them while we're talking, mate. Hopefully you don't mind. There you go. Last comment of the day. Tom, thanks for sharing the Ruud masterclass. No
problem, mate.
Tom, appreciate you coming on. Are you doing a watch along on Tuesday or are you at the game?
I'm at the game, mate. I'll be at the game Tuesday. So, yeah, no watching on this time. But, yeah, I'm at the game. And thanks to the 620 people that joined me yesterday, I was quite taken back by that many people sitting and watching me in a shed.
Watching that shit show.
Yeah, I know. As I keep getting ripped for, why is he in the shed? It's my shed, it's my man cave, and it's mine. Look, have a great week, rest of your weekend. Let's not put this result behind us now, and let's look positive for the remaining 25 and get fully behind Ruud van Nistelrooy and the boys, because they're going to need it now, and they need our backing more than ever. When times are hard and chips are down, we have to, get into the fight and get in with boys and get behind them now. So see you on Tuesday at the King Power. Jamie's coming over. I think he might be in the air as we speak. I think he was taken off R10. So he's coming back to a nice wet England. Hopefully bring some sun with him for a change. And let's hope we don't have as much drama as he brought last time, Jamie, coming back and then managing getting sacked, hey?
Well, it was his fault for him coming back. It was awful result, sacking. And now he comes back with a new manager and watch it happen all over again. Right, Tom, appreciate it. See you in a bit, mate. Yeah. There you go, guys. What another brilliant show. As Barry says, brilliant chat today. Yeah, of course. Thank you for all your comments and your views in. And that has been another show. And do you know what? I've not missed Jamie one bit. This was fun. I'm joking. Adam here says Big Sancho debut today. Isn't that the guy who signed for a seventh league team? That was mental. I saw that yesterday. That was brilliant. Last comment of the day. Let's get in. We'll get into this one. There's another one. Good luck to Harbour Town in the FA Cup. There you go. Right, guys. Appreciate coming on, and we'll catch you all on the next show. See you in a bit, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.